In this video, we're going to look at how we can share files. There's a couple of different options for this, but we're going to look at a couple of scenarios. First is sharing with students, the other one's sharing with faculty, and then the last is sharing with parents. So we do need to think about and almost re-educate ourselves a little bit on our sharing. Previously, when we were within Google, we didn't really think about where files were or where they were stored or who had ownership of them. It was quite lazy in the way that we kind of shared our files, whilst it may have been convenient. It did leave a lot of us when people left the school that they were unable to access the things which they previously relied on. So things have tightened up a little bit, but hopefully it's not too difficult as we transition forward. So as we find our document, we can hit that familiar share icon, and underneath the breadcrumb menu, we do also have share available there. The most important thing to think about is the place that you put it when you're sharing with people within our organization. For example, everyone has access within school-wide curriculum as a part of our institution. We also have divisional channels. So for example, in high school, we have our HS General. So if I have a file which I would like everyone within the high school to collaborate on, perhaps it's something for professional learning, it would be as simple as using the previous tutorial that we did where we moved the files into that space. As soon as we move it into that space, everybody has the access they need. So we can then just copy the link and that will allow everyone to have access. In a similar sort of way, if we're sending out a document to a whole year group or a large group of parents, and they're never going to need to edit that document at all, we could just add that file as an attachment to an email. There's no reason to send a link and to force parents to log in or authenticate in any kind of way if you're just trying to send them information in a newsletter. Now, of course, if you're organizing something which has an agenda and the agenda may change, then you might want to use a link that is view only. But we do need to think about what the intended purpose is and why we're sending this document. So in order to share with our faculty, we went through a little bit of this with our distribution list. But for example, if I want to share this with everyone who is a TITAM teacher, I can use fac, TT, all, and that will find everyone within that space. In a similar sort of way, if we wanted to share this with a large group of parents, perhaps I want to find my daughter's class, so lower primary, 408. And that will allow us to share that document with all of the parents. And in a similar way, we could also share that with our students. So remembering our prefixes, we could change that to students, and that would share that document with all of the students within there. Okay. Once we have selected who we want to send it to, we can then look at our permissions. Do we want them to be able to edit? Can they just review? Can they view? Do we want to set it, but they can't download and create their own? There's also a similar message for some of our secondary teachers who are creating things which link into Schoology. If it is a document where you want the students to download and create a new copy, I would advise you just upload that document into Schoology rather than sharing a link and having complications of sharing permissions. It'll save you a little bit of time and it'll make it a bit easier for you with your workflows. In terms of privacy and permissions within your file, we do have those couple of options, right? We've got anyone with a link. So this means it's going to create a unique link. No one will be able to find that file unless they have that unique link. If we do people at HKS, this will be searchable within our organization to anyone who has a Hong Kong international school email address. So this could include parents if they logged in, it could include students, and certainly all faculty. This only people with access, because this is within a channel, within the school-wide curriculum, it'll only include the people who already have access. This is the equivalent of just selecting copy link. So those are your three kind of options when you're thinking about sharing out and the permissions and thinking about who has access to that document.